What's going on, folks? Ted from Nerd Immersion here, and as I promised, I would go over the Hasbro Investor event in more detail now that the event has since passed. It is available in transcripts. There's an Excel document that looks to be primarily the financial data if you really want to dive into the numbers, and there is an audio replay that you can literally listen to the press release. It's just the audio, though, and you really need to it's an hour long, so you either need to listen to it, or at least what the audio replay that I found was an hour long, and you either need to sit there and listen through all of people talking about how you're going to turn around cash revenue flows and talking about PJ Masks and Peppa Pig, and sift through and try to find the Wizards of the Coast D&D related stuff. I got some useful things out of it, but there's a written kind of, not a transcript, but sort of a press release, if you will. And we're going to go through that minus a couple of things that I picked up and a few other things I want to talk about. So it's boring as shit. If you want to listen to it yourself, you can. I do that kind of stuff, listen to budgetary numbers and all that kind of stuff of things I do on my regular job. So I know what they're talking about, but it doesn't make it interesting. So anyway, here's the link where you can go see everybody that spoke up, all the different people. But here we go. Here is the investor report, and we can take a look as we scroll down. They talked about the three different branches, right? Consumer products, Wizards of the Coast, and digital gaming, and entertainment. You can see what their net revenues and stuff were for 2019 versus 2020. And then it says they highlighted that they're going to do this split here. And let's get down into, see, again, here's PJ Masks, Peppa Pig, Nerf, and Fortnite, lots of stuff like that, but we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about Wizards of the Coast and digital gaming. Wizards of the Coast is approximately halfway to achieving its target of doubling its revenue from 2018 to 2023. And so we heard numbers, but the numbers I heard, I guess, were premature. Their revenue in 2020 was $816 million. The revenue for Magic is up 23%. D&D's revenue is actually up 33%. Records for both record years for both departments. Digital gaming license revenue grew 17% in 2020. Invested approximately $210 million on development of digital games over the past 5 years and have dozens more games in development between partners and internal projects. 2021 to 2022 anticipated digital game launches are Arena, Magic the Gathering Arena on mobile. It's in early access on Android. I think they said in the thing they're planning to release it to all Android and iOS devices by end of Q1 2021. Spell Slingers, a free-to-play action RPG, and Magic Legends, which I think is like almost like an MMO open world RPG coming from Cryptic Entertainment. Dark Alliance, which is something I thought was interesting, is this Took Games here. I think we'd heard about them briefly, but Dark Alliance is going to be a 100% in-house developed, I wrote this down. Yeah, it's basically a self-published game by Wizards of the Coast. They bought this Took Games, and they are now publishing this. It's basically an in-house Wizards of the Coast gaming company to just make games, and that's what Dark Alliance is going to be. And then they reference Baldur's Gate 3 from Larian Studios, increasing the number of Magic the Gathering's premier card sets from 5 to 6, including Modern Horizons 2 in June 2021. So I think last year we saw on their kind of press release Twitch stream, they were going to do 5 sets. Looks like they're now going to go from 5 sets a year to 6 sets a year. So sorry, Magic fans, your wallet's not going to be fan of that. Announcing Magic Universes Beyond crossover products. This is what we kind of heard. To take fan favorite brands and bring them into the Magic play system. Warhammer 40K, Middle-earth Enterprises to include Lord of the Rings. So this is bringing in other worlds into kind of like we saw with the Walking Dead couple cards. This is going to be the same thing. We do know that the Lord of the Rings one is a full card set, and I think Warhammer was Commander. I'm not super Magic familiar, so I don't know. All right, then there's going to be entertainment, right? They talk about all the money they made for the different shows they had. We scroll down. There's a feature film in development for Magic the Gathering. There's a premium animated series in production for Netflix. The feature film for Dungeons & Dragons with Paramount Pictures is starting principal photography in Ireland right now and has engaged several writers to develop premium television projects designed as a foundation for a new, robust brand universe. Let us keep going. What do we got here? I thought there was more in here in this article. Oh, is there? If we keep scrolling down? No? Okay. There definitely is more information. Is this the newsroom one? Is this what we just looked at? This might have different stuff, or this might actually be the exact same one. Yeah, I don't see anything else in here. They did say they did. They did mention the Power Rangers Dungeons and Dragons crossover. They mentioned that as a future third-party content release, so that is still in development. I heard it on the call. They said they have dozens of new games in development currently. And then I guess we've got Christian Hoffer, who's someone who works for comicbook.com. And it looks like they actually got access to the presentation itself, showcasing this here. So I'm going to read through some of the stuff that they tweeted out. And most of this you'll see was corroborated by what we just talked about. 2 to 3 movies and 3 to 4 projects. Using Applejack for their business presentations. Chris Cox is the head of Wizards of the Coast. Both D&D and MTG have over 40 million players each. That tracks. D&D up 33%, Magic up 23%. We saw that when we jumped back. If we look at it here, we can see that that's corroborated. So I'm just fact checking here through 23-33. Okay, they cut the presentation to do a sneak peek of stuff. Nobody got to see it. Magic is launching Universes Beyond, which we saw, which includes the D&D Faerun crossover in the middle of the year this year, Warhammer and Lord of the Rings. And then this really interesting one, D&D will be increasing the cadence of its releases. Looks like we might start seeing more than 4 books per year soon. So I was listening in to try to find that in the audio replay, and I couldn't find it myself. But again, there's like an hour of content to sift through. Magic animated series will be out in 2022. D&D movie we know starts production in the spring. He's got that the CFO has Tasha's Cauldron in the background. She also has the HasCon exclusive D&D Friendship is Dragons kind of dice in the background here, which is pretty cool. And I think that was all that we got from that. So there you go, folks. D&D up 33%, right? In one of the worst years for a lot of financial companies because of the fact that, a lot of financial companies, what the hell am I saying? A lot of like stores and companies that rely on physical product media because we have COVID-19. So game shops were suffering. You don't really have organized play where people are going out and playing Adventures League. D&D still had a 33% profit, which is insane, the amount of money that they made in 2020. And now they're trying to continue bringing that in as we move into 2021 and beyond. Does this mean the change around of all of this and all this profit increase mean that it's going to expedite a 6th edition? I don't think so, guys. 33% profit? Why would you change that? Again, my thoughts that I've said before about I think it's going to be in time with the 50th anniversary of D&D might be true. But you also typically change things up and make a new edition of Dungeons & Dragons when either you change companies like TSR to Wizards of the Coast or sales have started to decrease. And if sales are going down, then yeah, it might be time to switch it up to reinvigorate the investors and the general public. 33% profit? That's nuts. You don't change things now. It's working. Yeah, people are pissed about some of the changes you're making now, but as a whole, your profit margin is insane. You've got 2 major video games coming out. You've got at least 2 very high profile books coming out this year. Or sorry, at least one, right? Candlekeep Mysteries, a lot of people seem to like when I did coverage of it. Ravenloft, a classic campaign setting. They're planning to release 2 other classic campaign settings later in the year, one of which we believe is Dragonlance. The D&D movie is filming. An animated or some sort of Netflix live-action series is underway. The Dragonlance hardcover, or paperback rather, novel is coming out later this year. WizKids is partnering to do more stuff with Wizards of the Coast. We've got the Critical Role minis coming out through WizKids, which is tied to D&D as Explorer's Guide to Wildmount. We've got a whole new sets of minis and things coming out, all new sets of lifestyle products and decor and clothing and all this kind of stuff. I don't think you change stuff up. You're making money. You've got a whole in-house company to produce video games for you. You've gotten a big promotion to be one of the 3 main branches of a massive company like Hasbro. I think it's all going to be good things. And yeah, I think if they're like, damn, you can do this so well with 4 books a year. What if we made it 5 books a year? What if we made it 6 books a year? Yeah. I know that might not be great for a lot of people, but for those of us like me and a lot of others who lived in the worlds of D&D 3.5 and 3E and 4E, where every time you went to a bookstore, there was like 2 new books you didn't even know were coming out. I'm used to that. I'm all for it. Give me more books. So if that cadence is increasing, that means 2 things. That means it's going to be pretty good for me here at Nerd Immersion because I'm going to have a ton of news to cover because there's going to be so many more books. And that means there's going to be a lot more content for me to cover and a lot more videos to make. So if you like seeing my face and like hearing me talk about D&D related news and leaks and whatnot, well, buckle up, folks, because it looks like 2021 and beyond may be our years. So thank you all so much for watching. Again, I will drop all of the links to all these things into the description if you'd like to check them out for yourself. Again, subscribe to the channel if you like this kind of stuff, and make sure you turn on your notifications bell because I'm out here doing this coverage as fast as I possibly can, and I'd hate for you to miss something, which it seems to happen, right? I get people commenting telling me, hey, did you see this came out? And I was like, yeah, I already did a video on that piece of news earlier today, and I feel like the notification bell could help prevent that from happening. Thank you all so much for watching. It's an exciting time to be a D&D fan. And I'll see you next time.